Let's go, it's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. So the big twist on this Rockstar game that you really never see in a Rockstar game is that you play as a good character. Cole starts off as just a regular everyday cop, and slowly he'll solve cases, become a traffic, and then he'll become a homicide detective, and basically become the greatest detective of all time. No, not really, but the point is that the whole game you're basically progressing through his career. And it's interesting to play as a good guy because he comes off so different than all the previous characters we get in a Rockstar game. He's really not an asshole, he's more of a goody two-shoes, and it's just kind of fun to play as somebody who's not a criminal, who doesn't have a background of killing people. So overall, it was pretty interesting, and his main story is basically going through these different cases, but you also get his backstory of him being in the military. So I thought that was kind of cool to see, a good guy, an American warrior. So let's break down what's bad and good about the game. I thought that each case definitely brought something new every time, and they were mostly interested, especially when you get on to the main case or like a case that leads on to another one. The lipstick killer or the Black Dahlia, right? Did I say that right? I hope I did, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, you said it wrong, Whitey, and I'll be like, haha, fuck you. But yeah, those cases are my favorite because basically you're going case to case, but they kind of link each other, but they're all separate, so it brings something new to the table, a whole different witnesses and all that great stuff. What makes these cases really good is the next best thing is the voice acting is top notch for the most part. My partner on the website, Comical, did not like the voice actor of Cole. I think that he comes off as an honest, innocent, goody two-shoe guy that's just trying to do justice, but he is a little too loud at points of the game. On the flip side, everybody's voice acting is pretty well done. There's an occasional bad voice acting here and there, but really, for the most part, this game definitely provides well done voice acting with great dialogue. The only really negative thing I really could think of in the story is I felt a few of the cases went a little too long. Like, you have to go to a little too many places to figure out this case, and well, it makes sense that it'll take various locations to actually find the killer behind most of these cases. It just came off as like, I have to talk to him, I have to talk to her, I have to talk to him. What the fuck? I'm on this case for like 2 hours now. I mean, just get to the point. And I know that's trying to go for a realistic approach, but that just bothered me. But overall, most of the cases are new, most of them are interesting, and most of them are fun. So the story is probably the strongest point of the game.
Do they all dress like movie stars?
Well, Roy is a movie star. And the whole of the seedy side of LA is his audience.
So the graphics are probably the hardest thing to talk about. Let me talk about the good first. The face motion capture that they do in this game is amazing. Oh my god, the jaw movements, the eye movements, the cheeks, how they go, like when someone lies, you can tell a difference with their mouth and cheek. You can see it in this game, and that's just awesome. So the motion capture in this game is wow. And the Noire, let me make sure I'm saying that right. I know a lot of people have been on my case about pronunciations. Noire. Am I saying that right? Or Noire? LA Noire. Okay, I'm just going to say LA Noire. Anyway, the design captures it perfect. The atmosphere is spot on. It looks like the 1940s. It feels like it. You never feel out of place. It feels like you're playing in that time period at the very late 40s, and it's just really cool to play in that time period because you don't get to do that much. So as far as design-wise goes, it is kick-ass. The only negative really things is the animations kind of feel lifeless at times, especially when you get into a brawl and you knock them down. It looks so silly. It looked better in Grand Theft Auto 4, to be honest. And with that, it makes some of the cutscenes look a little lifeless because besides their face, the rest of the graphics aren't really up to par. So it looks kind of eh. I think this game would definitely benefit from not being an open world. The graphics probably would have been stronger and less stiff. But can't complain too much because the facial animations are great and the design is great, but I really have to say that the cutscenes could have done some work only because the animations are a little behind in times. So this is where I feel my opinion is going to differ from a lot of people. Some might agree with me, some might not. But let's break it down. It's going to be very long. The gameplay is basically set up like this. You will see a murder, first cutscene usually in a case. Then you will did I say that right? Ask, there you go, a bunch of people what happened, did they see anything, blah blah blah. You've seen Law and Order before. And then you will go on to investigate houses. You'll go to the actual spot where the murder was took place, check the evidence, all that good stuff. You'll talk to the coroner, all that great stuff. So it feels like you are a detective. And then mostly the game will revolve around any of the action scenes will be chasing or basically shooting. Those are two main things in terms of action, and the rest is basically investigating. So you get the main idea of the game is driving around, talking to people, chasing them, or shooting them. That's the main idea of the gameplay. Now, what works and what doesn't work in this game? Well, let me break it down. The good. You feel like a detective. When you're searching houses, workplaces, streets, you feel like you are a detective, and that feeling is amazing because there's not a lot of games that give you that feel of being a detective. It's kind of cool. And I really think the interrogations are probably my favorite part of the game. The questionings are fun too, but the interrogations kind of give you that edge that you like, I have to get this right. I have to see if he's telling the truth, or I can make him, I can doubt it so that he'll actually have to tell the truth or he'll feel bad. Or I'll let him give him more of the nice side and let the truth come out if he's a nice dude or she's a nice woman. So I thought that was really cool. The interrogations work mostly well and the questioning is all good. There are just definitely some epic fucking missions or moments. Let me say there's moments, because some of the missions are long-winded, like I said, so it kind of drags on, but there are epic moments. Did anybody, if anybody's played the game, you know what my favorite moment was so far? I would have to say, in terms of the action, I really liked when you go on set, the Hollywood mission, and at the very end when you're chasing that guy on the set and you just go and you're jumping and shit. That was crazy. That was a little Uncharted moment. So there's epic moments like that. There's also moments that are not so much epic but memorable, like going in, seeing dead victims on the floor. It's almost like you're like, wow, I really feel bad for this person. We got to figure out this case. And something like that is really cool. So these are the big pluses. And I really think that the long cases will add to most people's good part, because they like the long case. They don't want these short little cases. On top of that, the side missions are pretty long too, and they feel like missions. Thank you, Rockstar. Give us side missions with cutscenes, with some freaking, meat to it, not just save a guy. Why the fuck would I want to just save a random dude on the street? No. You'll get to, like one mission I'm just going to bring up is this guy's going to jump off a tower. You want to go save him, you're going to get a whole reason why, and then you save him and all that good stuff. That's what I want. I want a reason why I'm doing these side missions. They're called street missions in this game, but I like to have a reason behind doing side missions, and they're actually good in this game. Now, those are the positive. Let me talk about the negative, and they kind of hurt me in a lot of ways because I was expecting more. Okay, the first thing that really bothered me is that the walking controls pissed me the fuck off. People were complaining about heavy rain. For some reason, heavy rain didn't bother me as much, and maybe because it's not as much action. And this, when I'm searching around the house and stuff and I have to move, I feel stiff. I feel like I'm smacking into the wall more than I need to. The running and having the running button and the shooting button, not a good idea. Not a good idea, Rockstar. But really, it just feels stiff, and it's annoying. It's annoying to search around the house sometimes. And the camera angles can be a bit iffy at times. They're kind of fucking annoying. I'm going to say it again. They annoy me. I'm running, and for some reason, the camera's still angled to the left, and I have to turn right. Camera angle's not turning. I have to turn it automatically, but the camera's not very fast. What is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? And I will say that this one is going to be split in the middle. I wanted even less action in this game. I thought there were too many shootouts. The chase scenes, there's a few too many, but I can deal with them. The shootouts, they suck. Why? Because the shooting sucks in this game. The shooting really, really sucks. And it's repetitive. It's boring. It's not even on league with Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead. It's not even close to them. It's just boring, annoying, and not fun. So I really thought that the gameplay, in terms of the action parts, could have done a lot more work. There's a few epic moments when you chase them, but none of the shooting parts are actually fun. They're boring, and there's too many of them later on in the game. I do think that the detective work is a lot of fun, but I can see a lot of people not enjoying the detective work. It's very slow paced, a little too slow for some people. Comical got bored of it. I don't blame her. I don't blame gamers who are going to get bored of the detective work. It's very slow paced. It's like detective work. You're going to have to pick up every piece of fucking evidence. Half of that, or more than half of that, isn't going to be relevant to the case, but you're going to pick it up anyway to make sure. So I can see where the detective work might be too much, and I would figure that these creators would want to make the action parts balance out for them. But I've heard nobody actually liking the action parts too much, and I did not at all. So I would like more detective work. It works for me, but there's too many action parts in the later part of the game. So the gameplay is about half and half. There are more positives, but there's definitely flaws in this gameplay that could have used some serious work. So we come to the enjoyment part. LA Noire, hopefully I'm saying it right, is a mixed bag for me. I definitely think it's a solid game. I definitely think it has great moments, and that's what I liked about it. But it's not a complete package. It almost feels to me like Assassin's Creed, like the first one. Like, hey, this is a good start. Hey, it has a lot of great ideas, but we haven't polished it completely. We can make so many improvements for the second game to make it a perfect, almost a perfect game, but here we get a good game with great moments. So that's how I felt with LA Noire. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get a good amount of hours in this game. At least 12, if not more, just for the main mission. I'm saying maybe 12 to 18 hours for the main mission alone. You put in these side quests, easy 20 hours, if not more. Because the side quests, you actually have to do stuff, which is different than every other game. So it works. It's a long game. You're going to get your money's worth. I think what's the best thing about this game is that it's a whole different type of experience. It's similar to Heavy Rain. We're not really going to get these type of games every so often. This is once in a blue moon. You're either going to like it or you're going to dislike it. But if you like it, you're going to really enjoy it. I thought it was a good game with some excellent moments. I wouldn't rate it nearly as high as Heavy Rain. That, to me, was an experience I won't forget. LA Noire is an experience where I'm like, well, those ideas are really good. I hope to see those ideas in more games, but not the whole package. So with that, the negative things are I really felt like the gameplay was not polished enough. It felt very uneven compared to the graphics and story, which are fucking great. Why is it that the graphics and story are great, but we got the gameplay for a game? Gameplay for a game, which is supposed to be the most important part, is not getting the shared amount of polishing. It's not. And the only other thing I really have to say, and this is a great point that Comical brought up, and I totally agree, more cases at the same time. For a detective, he's usually going to do more than one case at a time. It doesn't make sense that I have one case at a time. I would like to see cases intertwine. I would like to see 3 separate cases, and I have to go to 3 different houses all the different time. But some of them don't intertwine at all. But it's cool to get different cases at all the same time instead of doing one case at a time. It doesn't feel as realistic as the rest of the game. So overall, I really do feel like that could have been a really cool improvement that I can see in the next one if they're able to make it. Did I enjoy LA Noire? I did. I really did enjoy this game. I'm not gonna lie. I had fun with it. I'm enjoying the cases and everything. I had a great time. Do I feel like it could do some improvements? Definitely in the gameplay department. Definitely, big time. The actions just did not. The action gameplay did not work out for me. I'm gonna be honest. However, am I saying that you shouldn't try LA Noire? Not at all. I think that every single person who's a gamer should try this game. To me, it is going to be a game that you love, or like me, you think it's good, but it could have been better, or that it's bad, because it just doesn't work out for you. It's way too slow paced. I can understand all 3 of those game. So overall, anyone who wants to try something new in gaming, this is your chance. LA Noire definitely provides that. I do think it's good. I think it's a good start if they continue to do a series, but it's just not a great game that I expected. That's all. But do not get confused, it is a good game. I know if people are going to go crazy, it's a good game. It's just not great for me. For me, in my opinion. There we go. The end. Now all the argument can continue. Call me a bitch and call me a fag and call me you want to kill my mother, all that fucking crazy. You people need some fucking help. Go die in the drain, and then I'll be a detective and figure out who killed you. But I killed you, so I'll be like Dexter and trick everybody, and nobody will know I killed you. And ha ha ha. Okay, I'm done.